Hi, I'm Lonnie,
I'm Tiffany.
and this is episode number 79 of The Spoiling Dead. We're reviewing season 6, episode 12, titled Not Tomorrow Yet. And this was like one of those little action-packed episodes where we get to see Rick and the group bust into what they assume is the Savior's compound. And it looks like they might not have got everybody. Number one, we haven't seen Negan.
Mm-mm.
We assume none of those guys was him.
Yeah.
And there were some more people on the outskirts who were keeping a patrol, and they got Carol and Maggie, who they had posted outside keeping watch. I think it would be of note to say that Glenn killed his first two people. He's gone the entire series without having to kill a living human being.
Yeah.
And he did it at this point. So that's kind of interesting, arc to. I don't know. It just seems kind of off that, they've been teasing Glenn's death like over and over and over and over, and then they actually have him kill somebody for the first time. But Heath was about to kill somebody for the first time as well, and Glenn was like, "Nah, I've already done it." And he kind of comes in and like kills Heath's guy for him. And that was like with knives, but it almost seems like guns is like an impersonal thing. That didn't really matter because they both unloaded through a door at a crowd of saviors.
Like they finally find an armory of sorts. With guns and weapons. And they are blowing through that door.
And that armory didn't look much bigger than the one at Alexandria.
No, not at all. And what's more is it seemed less stocked than Alexandria. Not to mention, like, it was not guarded on the inside at all, that armory. So that seems a little off to me, personally, because if I have an armory, not only am I going to have guards outside, but I'm going to have people guarding that armory specifically.
Especially if it's your only armory.
Yeah. So.
Oh. Go looking at me like I know something.
Shut up. You know all the things.
It's okay. I do. I know everything.
You know all the things.
Can't help it. But yeah, really, just this episode, it began with, Carol delivering cookies to everybody. And
then Rick is coming back in like, we need to meet at the church and talk.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to fight.
Yeah.
And she almost seemed like to have a little routine done, as like, I guess, like the community mother, that kind of thing.
Which Tobin tells her.
Yeah.
That she's become the mother, and they have a little moment there.
Yeah, they actually kiss.
Yeah, like they're sharing a cigarette, and like he tells her she's like a mother to everyone, and because she's trying to rationalize why she has done what she's done, why she's killed, like what has motivated her, and he's like, it's because you're still a mom. Yes, you may have been a mom like in the truest sense in the past, but you still have that mindset, and you've just kind of become everybody's mom. And she's like, am I that to you? And he says, no, you're different. You're something much different to me. And then they have this kiss. So,
but at the same time, the number of live people that she has killed is keeping her up at night.
18.
She had a list of people. For the most part, it was, I think,
not just like, on a bedpost.
It was like W's 5, which was like
the wolves.
Yeah. She had like the candlestick woman from Terminus.
Yes.
She had Terminus people. She put 3 with a question mark next to it, and then she had like some other initials, which I'm assuming like Lizzie was on there, and a few others. But yeah, I mean that's really kind of. She went from being like a badass to the point where doing that is starting to catch up to her mind, and she's starting to have like kind of an emotional breakdown, or is at a crossroads about it.
Well, and I think too, a lot of what Morgan said is kind of seeped through the gap, so to speak, and is kind of making her have a lot of inner conflict as well. Is like, because
maybe he's right.
Yeah, because it's gotten to the point where she does so without a second thought, and she's starting to question, like, why she's able to do it so easily, I guess. And she's starting to have that kind of like, what am I actually doing here? You know.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad spot mentally for Carol right now. Mm-hmm. And then we also have Morgan at the end of the episode. You actually see him kind of welding iron bars together, and he is making a jail cell, and that is much in the, you know, the way of what Eastman had for him. He's making a cell down there. I guess he wants to be able to imprison people instead of just
trying
kill.
To convert them, like Eastman did with him.
Now,
I wonder if he's going to leave the door open.
No. I will say, though, that the jail cell has major ramifications in the comic book. Major.
Is that the one that Negan's in, and he, like, what, the thing that you love so much? Okay.
Anyway.
I pay attention to shit, damn
in
it.
the comic books, I don't think Morgan ever made it to Alexandria.
Huh.
I don't think. I'd have to go back and reread, but it's...
we know there's a cell and whatever.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I think the cell was already there in the comic. But yeah, we got that. We've got, they go through and kill a whole pile of saviors before they're eventually... talked to on the radio by some unseen woman who says they have Carol and Maggie.
Which is directly after, like, they see some guy, like, trying to exit on this motorcycle. They take him down, and it's on his radio.
Yeah, they're just about to kill him.
Yeah.
Now, there was a part early on when they're getting ready because the saviors wanted Gregory's head.
Yeah.
And so they go around and they find a bunch of zombies. They kill them, and they find the one that closest to Gregory's appearance.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of cut his hair, make him look like Gregory, and then Rick punches the zombie in the nose
to kind of make his face look a little more unrecognizable.
Yeah,
in a sense. And
I like the the guy with the hilltop.
Oh God!
Was like, hey, these saviors scare me, but they ain't got nothing on you, man.
Yeah.
Because Rick just picks the head up nonchalantly and just punches it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny. This episode had some good moments, good little action-packed thing. Of course, if you have any spoilers whatsoever, this episode didn't quite have the punch that it had when it first aired. Because there were actually people wondering, hey, is this the actual full Saviors compound? Did they kill Negan? That kind of thing. But
can you imagine not knowing? And I'm sure they, like, the writers wouldn't do that shit. Come on, guys, we know.
Anybody who paid attention, though, knows that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was cast as Negan.
And we didn't see Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, we didn't see Jeffrey Dean Morgan
That's
yet.
I'm sure. But no, another thing I noticed is, like, in one of the particular, like, bunks that the Saviors are in, they have these pictures on the freaking wall, like, above this guy's bed. And it's all these faces that have been, like, smashed in with, I'm assuming, Lucille. And, I mean, they
take pictures of
battered. Yeah, they take pictures of it. And it's almost like, it's literally almost like trophies. I mean, these guys kind of, like, put them on their wall, like, I don't know, like, someone would, Well,
did you notice last episode when they mentioned that, they showed up and killed somebody? And, he's telling the story about how the Hilltop first ran into Negan. And he said that they killed somebody just to prove a point
right
off.
A point.
And then he said they did it right off the bat.
Yeah, I know. And I thought that was an interesting kind of pun, knowing obviously what I know. So, I mean, if you didn't catch that the first time, not knowing that Negan carried around Lucille or whatever.
There are
so many little puns.
Hints and little Easter eggs galore hinting at Negan's arrival.
And I'm glad to kind of have a little bit of knowledge that... I hate that so much has been spoiled for me, like a lot of deaths specifically. But,
Yeah, because we're starting to get to the point where
starting to get
there,
where I know quite a bit, yeah. So, damn it, my brother, it's all your fault. Anyway.
I'm going to give this episode a 8.
I was going to give it a 9.
Yeah.
It's a little, it's up there. I mean, it's definitely intense. It's, the ending with the radio. But the slowness at the beginning where they're kind of like convening and they're like branching out, I'm guessing, to try to find the walkers, that, trying to find someone that looks...
And we also want to say that Morgan did stand up during their meeting and voice his concern. That
are you sure you can do this?
He wants to talk to him.
He wanted to talk to him first. So he's a dumbass. You don't talk to these
people. In that
people.
Respect, yeah, just knowing...
Like, knowing what we know
about... No, knowing what we know, yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about even from the hilltop. Like, they know there's no talking to these people. They know.
Yeah, they're showing... They got their own people showing up, stabbing the leader and stuff.
So, I mean, there's no way. And, like, they've already, like, killed Craig's brother, we know. Or, well, not Craig's brother, but, like, the group that Craig's brother was in. So, I mean, we know this, so it's definitely not a good idea. Rick knows this. I mean, he's gotten that vibe from all the talks he's had with, like, Gregory and the rest of the Hilltop people, Jesus included, and all of their, like, inhabitants. So, well, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, obviously they have Maggie and Carol, like, somehow kidnapped them.
This stuff is like building up.
And that's why I give it a 9. It has good tense moments. The compound part was pretty intense. Like, I was expecting one of those guys' eyes to open at any moment, you know what I mean? Like, in the beds. Because you have that shadow looming over you. And when you've dealt with the walkers enough, you are sure as hell.
Yeah, I honestly thought that they would sleep more, but they seem to be secure.
Like a light sleeper. Yeah, well, I guess so. Is because they think they're kind of getting that same mindset as Rick. They're untouchable.
That and they're complacent.
They're complacent. Sure. Yeah, I mean,
you've got 2 guards outside.
Yeah.
Several locked doors between you and the outside.
Yeah, and but still, like Rick, they've kind of become like they think they're untouchable. So maybe that's, I don't know. We'll see, but. Yeah, it was weird not to see Negan. If this is the main complex, which I'm starting to doubt, like, you would think that Negan would be in there somewhere. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering.
Well, next episode number 13. We'll see what's going on. But
we're so close to the season finale.
Yeah, we have 4 more episodes.
Jeez, it's unreal to think about. So, I'm going to be dying. I don't even know. So, it's kind of scary to think about, honestly. So, what I'm wondering is, like, this lady wants them to lay down their weapons and then they'll talk, I guess. So, I don't know. I'm a little freaked out by this. So,
that's awesome.
We'll see. But for me, it was a 9. For you, it was an 8.
Yeah, it was an 8. Of course, watching it the second time, I'm probably giving it lower marks than if it was the first time. This is one of those episodes.
Yeah.
Second time's not as good.
I get it. And I could see that. If I was watching it a second time, I could totally
I'm pretty sure we're going to have at least 2 more 10s out of the next 4 episodes for me.
That would not shock me in the least for me either. Yep. I mean, the way they've built this up and so much, fuck yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Pardon my language. We're an all-ages group here at Untitled.
I think you're allowed 1.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, this has been episode number 79 of The Spoiling Dead. We have reviewed season 6, episode 12, titled Not Tomorrow Yet. I am Lonnie.
I'm Tiffany.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network.